Hey there, D2 sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of the D2 Nation Podcast. I'm your co-host, Wayne Cavadi, and joining me once again, fresh off a scouting trip to Arrowhead to see D2 alumni Tyreek Hill and Austin Eckler, is the great Bethany Bowman. How did they look, Bethany?
Well, I don't know if I'll call it a scouting trip. It was more of a trip for leisure to see the Chiefs because I am a Chiefs fan. But yeah, always cool to see some D2 alums playing in the big stage. So that was really awesome. Chiefs didn't get the win though, but I'm feeling okay. 1 and 2, they'll be all right here in a few weeks. So we're excited for another episode of the D2 Nation though today, and with another crazy week of D2 football in the books. 3 of your Power 10 teams were upset on Saturday, but a few of those teams moved to 4-0 behind another impressive offensive outing. Joining us today is Henry Litwin, one of 4-0 Slippery Rock's outstanding wide receivers. Welcome to the D2 Nation, Henry.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, absolutely. And now, Henry, just to make you a little comfortable, I want to let you know that I got this a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting for a special occasion to whip it out.
There it is. I love it. Love it.
So I am wearing the appropriate gear for tonight's show, everybody.
I'm gonna need one of those if you can get one in the
mail. Let's take it back to 2019 before we talk about what's going on now. And the Rock went 13-0 all the way to its first semifinals this millennium. It was just one of the best offenses in the nation. How much fun was it playing in that offense? And at what point, because you had the whole quarterback issue at the beginning of the season, what point did you know that that was part of something special and dominant?
Honestly, that summer leading up to that season was just, it felt different. Like you knew that we were on to something special, and having a leader like Roland Rivers, like you knew that he was capable of taking us a long way. And with having a supporting cast like us receivers and our offensive line and everything, we knew we could do something really special. And yeah, I'd have to say in the summer that we knew early that we could do some great things.
Yeah, and you definitely did great things. You and we'll get more into Jermaine in a little bit and the numbers that you put up. But when you put up those numbers in that crazy semifinals game against Notre Dame too, when you have those numbers there and you have that historic run, and then you add in the COVID year, how hard is it to live up to those expectations now?
I mean, that COVID year, that was hard for everybody. And not only just here at Slippery Rock, you had every division, just about every Division II school didn't get to play. So we know that we weren't the only ones that had to go through that. But we try not to think about the expectations. We have our own goals in mind, and we know what we have to do to get back to that spot. So each week we just go week by week, just collectively getting better as a team. And it's starting to click again here in Slippery Rock, and you can feel it.
Well, Henry, let's talk about that new quarterback. Obviously, as you mentioned, Roland Rivers III was something special, and you were a large part in him winning the last Harlan Hill Trophy. What has the transition been like, though, from Rivers to now Andrew Kester? What's different and what's the same about those two quarterbacks?
Honestly, there's a lot of differences. They both have their own style that they like to play in. They both bring a different type of energy to the team, but honestly, it's the same because they're two great quarterbacks. Like, I've been very fortunate here at Slippery Rock to play with two phenomenal quarterbacks. And yeah, you see the similarities as in the leadership that they bring to the team and their capabilities, because it's not an easy spot to fill for Kester to come in after having a Harlan Hill winner. But what people don't know is he actually started before Roland in 2018. He had an injury that sidelined him, and then that's how Roland got his opportunity. But they're two phenomenal quarterbacks, so it's made my job really easy, honestly.
Yeah, and it's like you said, the pressure on him. Hopefully, he just pushes that out, because Roland's season was fun to watch, but he's looking like he's settling in. Like you said, the last 2 weeks, it's been 50-point performances. So it looks like that something special is back in Slippery Rock again. But part of that something special is you and your wingman on the outside, you and Jermaine. And, you know, it's got to be a defensive matchup for everyone in the PSAC. What makes you two work so well? And be honest, is there a little competition among the two of you?
Well, I think we both bring something different to the field. Jermaine's a speedster. I mean, he'll make people look silly out on the football field. And then somebody like me, like contested catches and stuff, like I just take advantage of my one-on-ones. So if they try to double team me, you have Jermaine wide open, you know, and then if they do the opposite, I got to take advantage of those opportunities. But yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of competition between the two of us. We love to compete, and that's also why we've had so much success, because you never get a day off where you get to slack or where you get to relax, because you know if you're relaxing, Jermaine's going to be going off, you know. But that's what makes us so great, and it's all in good nature. He knows if he ever has the ball in his hands, I'm going to be down the field blocking for him to make sure he scores, and I know that he'll do the same for me.
4 PSAC teams in the top 25, and that's not even including 4-0 Shippensburg. Make your pitch for why PSAC football is the best in the country.
Well, you pretty much just said it right there. Having 4 teams in the top 25, like that's not easy. And then also Shippensburg coming out 4-0, that says a lot about them as well. But you have to like scratch and claw just to win a PSAC championship, and by the time you get there, you know, like you've already gone through the gauntlet, really. Like going back to 2019, it was such a big deal to win the PSAC. Like you knew that you beat some really good football teams just to get to that point. And that gives you confidence going into the playoffs and everything. And yeah, I think you said it right there. That's why the PSAC's one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, but I'm biased.
That's okay. We like it. And now we all know about the Rock Rowdies and game day atmosphere, but what is it that makes you love D2 so much? I was also a D2 athlete, and I just think there's a lot of special things about it. What is it for you?
Honestly, for D2, you don't get the thousands of fans. You don't get all the gear and the maybe not even the best equipment. So the people that come and play in Division II, they just love the sport that they're playing, and I think that's what makes it so special. Because a lot of Division I players, you take away the fans, you take away the gear, you know, like some people just can't deal with that, you know, like. But Division II players just love the sport, and they're willing to sacrifice those things just to play the game, and I think that's what makes D2 so special.
Yeah. And you could see it on the field, you know, you could see them always going, everyone putting in their all, and there's no days off. Like you said, you know, you talked about in the competition with Jermaine, but I mean, that really it is for everyone. But Henry, that was the easy part of the show. Okay. Yeah. Now comes the hard part, the questions that everyone is dying to hear the answers to, the D2 Nation hot seat. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Bethany, start it off.
All right. I'll ease them in. Who's your favorite football player, someone you model your game after?
Julian Edelman, for sure. Yep.
Are the Patriots your favorite team?
No, I'm actually a big Browns fan. Big Browns fan. So, you know, like.
Is that allowed where you live?
Actually, I'm from Northwest Pennsylvania, so I'm actually closer to Cleveland than I am to Pittsburgh. But I mean, we went through some tough times, so like just to see some success, I mean, it's pretty cool to watch now.
Yeah. There's a lot of injuries at receiver. They could probably use you.
Yep.
You ready?
I'm ready.
What's in your headphones pregame to get you pumped up for a Saturday?
Oh, I might get picked on for saying this, but there's one song that I put on repeat, and everybody teases me, but it's Rolling in the Deep by Adele. I don't know what it is about that song, but that gets me pumped. And I know if other people heard me listen to it, they would just give me looks and stuff. But once I put that song on, like, it's ready. I'm ready for the game.
I love it.
This is going to D2 fans all across the country, so now they're going to know.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you see the headphones on, you know what I'm listening to now.
All right. So what social media platform are you most addicted to? And is there a personality or an account that you just really love?
It's probably Twitter. Like, I'm not a huge social media guy. Like, I go on there just to keep myself busy. But yeah, it's probably just Twitter. And as far as accounts go, it's all sports. Like, like if you go through my feed, it's only football and basketball and everything. So it's kind of boring, I guess, if you're not into sports. But that's all I'm into.
That's pretty much sounds exactly like my Twitter feed. So yeah,
Me too.
I'm with you. All right, 2 parts to this question, since you are a football player: the greatest football movie of all time, and then the greatest sports non-football movie of all time.
Okay, so definitely the best football movie. It has to be a tie between Remember the Titans and Friday Night Lights. They're both special in their own way. I think Friday Night Lights captures the intensity that football has. You know, some people underestimate it. And Remember Titans, that just shows what it's like, a family atmosphere in the locker room and everything, and how special football is. And my non-sports movie, it's probably Caddyshack, or football movie. It's definitely Caddyshack. That's probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love it. I can't argue with that one at all.
So I've never been to Pittsburgh, but depending on your answer here, maybe I'll have to make a trip. What is the best sandwich at Primanti Brothers?
Oh, so you got the Pittsburgher, which is like the number 1 selling sandwich at Primanti's, but I actually like the New Yorker, which I might get some criticism being from the Pittsburgh area, but definitely the New Yorker if you get the opportunity.
So Bethany, just so you know, you eat one of these things and you're full for probably the rest of the day, right? Like, they put all the sides on the sandwich. It's crazy.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Like, what sides?
Like, there'll be coleslaw and French fries on your sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's on the New Yorker?
Oh, you got like pastrami, you got like a horseradish type mix on there. It's kind of weird, and like you have to be into it, but like you said, you eat that and you're set for the whole day. Like, so.
It's nuts. Well, congratulations, Henry. You survived the hot seat. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this weekend, and of course the rest of the season. And to you, D2 Nation, don't forget to tune in. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, and just about anywhere else you want to listen. Give us a follow, give us a like, and we'll see you next week on the D2 Nation.